Okay, so I just spent an interesting afternoon in Round Rock, Texas. For those of you who don't know, or for those of you who use CCS1 and you're traveling through I-35, you're going through Austin. I think Round Rock is your EA location. There might have been an EA way down south Austin. I don't know. I haven't been down there. But um, they have 10 dispensers there. Out of those 10, at least 6 were kind of bricked, meaning they didn't work one way or the other. Now, I do have Electrify America app on my phone. I have set up the credit card, so it should have gone through. So I would have thought that at least one of those would have worked, and I'd be able to verify that it works. Okay, so to be fair to Electrify America, I haven't verified I can work. But I have the app. It has a credit card set up on it. When it says swipe to charge, and it comes back and says unable to charge, that's on them, right? I haven't even tried to hook it up to my car yet. So anyway, whatever. I don't know what to say. I I've been by the Electrify America place there. I've observed it. I've seen cars coming in, coming out. Um, I thought it was working just fine. So to find that 6 out of 10 weren't working at all. Now maybe one, because the one that didn't work for me, there was a Volkswagen plugged in there before I came in. I thought she was there long enough to have gotten something out of it. Although who knows? I didn't. I was so busy looking at all the other state dispensers, I didn't look at hers, other than to see if she was there. And I know she left after a while, so I don't know. But anyway, what I'm struggling with, I'm sorry. To each person has their own ideas what looks good, and I get it. I'm, and to be fair, the Tesla Model Y, it's not exactly the best looking car, but I'm not really into it for the looks. I mean, I like the shoulder haunches, so to speak. Makes it look a little tough, or muscular. I like the wide tires. Oh yes, I liked wide tires. But you know what sold me was the acceleration, and I had the long range, so it's not even this performance version. So I just can't imagine. So anyway, part of me would say, why would you not buy a Tesla? I mean, for Pete's sake, my daughter lives in the Boston area. I just went to Boston on what turned out to be the coldest weekend that they'll have all winter, more than likely. And I survived it just fine. And there's other people who are driving cars with CCS1 who were having problems charging. Now, I did have problems charging, yes, but nothing catastrophic. I mean, at the one station, my battery was cold, so it didn't take a charge well. Well, the answer was, as soon as I got enough range in my car, there was another station not very far away, and so I went to that. Now, if I was in the CCS1 car, I to be fair, I don't know where the next Electrify America is in that area, but there certainly weren't any in that area, I do not think. So, wow, man, that's tough. I mean, you get to sit there in your Volkswagen, your Polestar, your Porsche, whatever it is, and say, look how cool my car is. Yes, that's fine. And most of the time, you, like me, you're charging at home because it's far cheaper and far more convenient. But when you have to go somewhere, what do? I guess you rent a car. I don't know. I mean, some people are saying, I give up. I'm going to sell this car and get an ICE car, gas car. Wow. So, what really strikes me is Volkswagen, the car company, as part of Volkswagen Group. Electrify America, at least indirectly, is part of Volkswagen Group. So you think if you want to sell EVs for Volkswagen, you want a place you can charge. And I did look at an ID4, and the salesman was saying, "Oh yes, the Electrify America is right up there in Round Rock." Now, at the time, I had seen one that was in Cedar Park. Well, it turns out they ripped that up and took it away. I was actually pretty excited that they had one in. So I live just outside of Cedar Park, so to speak. So it was pretty exciting to have one that close. Although, guess what? I have a Tesla. They have a supercharger site in Cedar Park. And to be fair, there is a charge point, what they call a DC fast charge. I mean, it's only 65, 66, something like that, but it works. So, I mean, I've tried it on the Tesla. Yes, I have a CCS1 adapter. Anyway, I'm still struggling with, I get there's compelling reasons why you might want something else, but, you know, if you're Ford, where are your people supposed to go to charge up? Now, Ford's supposed to be developing or putting in superchargers in their dealerships, which will help sometimes. Chevy or GM, I don't remember exactly what GM's approach was. I think it was something along those lines, but maybe not quite as drastic. But they also were looking at teaming up with EVgo. EVgo sounds great, and actually a lot of the advertising makes them sound good, but they don't cover what they call corridors. So corridors, like if I go out to El Paso, I'm going out I-10 West. I have to drive the junction to get there, but I go out I-10 West. So you'll see Electrify Americas at close to the same intervals that you would see Tesla's superchargers out there, which is kind of interesting, but I mean, that makes sense. EVgo doesn't cover those corridors. Charge point is interesting. I don't know. I don't know quite what to make of it. The charge point here in Cedar Park sounds good, except they have limited hours. So there's a minus there, but for the purposes that's there, it works. I know some Nissan dealerships have superchargers or some kind of charger. I don't know exactly what they have. I know there's one out there in Waco. I just haven't gone to look for it yet. I don't know. What? I know if you're like me, you start with, I like the way the car looks first. And you drive, you're like, I like the way the car drives. So you're not really thinking about how do you charge it up. And maybe for people like that, where they haven't thought about how they're going to handle charging the car, maybe now is not the time to do it. Unless you're going for Tesla. If you're going for Tesla, then I don't know what's holding you back. I mean, the problem is if we put another 150,000 Teslas on the road, I don't know. I've only counted lines at 3 or 4 different places, but is that fair? There was 2 in Boston, 1 in Pennsylvania was kind of surprising, and then I think there was one somewhere else. In California, I pulled into a supercharger, and I had to wait a couple of seconds, but I got in, and by the time I got my car up and charging, I turned around. All of a sudden, there's a line of 4 cars that were waiting to get in. So that was not cool. But anyway, for those of you who buy Tesla, the good news is Tesla does take a look at how many cars are charging on superchargers, and they're looking at building up sites where they're busy, and they'll work it out, so it'll be fine. Anyway, I just don't know. So yeah, I was thinking about there was a guy who reported a problem in Waco, and I drove by the Waco. I stopped in the parking lot actually just to look, and what I saw was there was a Polestar. There was a Ford F-150 that I think he had been plugged in but couldn't figure out how to make it work, so he backed out. And there was a Polestar that was next to his spot, who ended up dragging over the cable from where he was to charge their car, I think. I mean, I didn't stick around long enough to see all that. But so I was thinking about going up to Waco soon, but Round Rock's such a mess. So anyway, for those of you who are wondering, it's called Rate Your Charge. Rate Your Charge is a Tesla account. Do some kind of review. So let me say this about Electrify America. I mean, if you go to Electrify America and you find out a dispenser's down, try to activate it, get the error, and report it. I mean, I don't know why Electrify America is not monitoring their sites. I think they said something like every 2 months they check them. I don't know. Seems like with your technicians, you could visit them every couple of weeks or something. I don't know. Maybe they don't have that many people. I don't know. I get it's a cost, but you got to do better. Anyway, main thing is, if you use Electrify America, if you get any kind of error you get, report it so that they know, so maybe they can fix it. But you can also post on Twitter, or reference Rate Your Charge, and let them look at it. Of course, they're looking for a video or some pictures, something to say what's going on. And the only thing that's going to get better is if people scream enough, which to me is sad to think that getting people to do the right thing takes that, but there it is. Anyway, good luck out there. Man, this is going to get tough.